Something I was thinking about with this has become quite obvious to a lot of us who we supported the America First Trump cause, that because really this was something that I don't think people understood about it, is that and really it's something that when it comes to those who they sort of hated Trump and they hated all the people who supported him, I don't think they really understood this aspect of it, is that with America First and that kind of sentiment, one of the things that naturally comes with it is that we would end up divesting in a lot of our connections with the rest of the world, but not the way people thought. It wasn't that we wouldn't talk with them, we wouldn't participate with them. This isn't like the EU. It would become nationalism and then there would be war. No, it's the idea, one of the most critical is we wouldn't have anything to do with the kind of the petroverse, the universe of petroleum and energy and international banking interests that all have to work together to keep the petroleum industry sort of in charge of world events. And this idea of this constant need for petroleum and petroleum interests being in charge. But the problem is it was going to come with distinct sacrifice. That was always going to be the biggest issue of all. Sorry, I'm moving this around so much. Just saw that sun flare and thought that wasn't very pleasant. But it was, and that was going to be hard. This was going to require a sort of an era of sort of this thing that had come up during the Depression, of if we just eat bitter for about 4 years, then things will come back around. We'll start producing enough for ourselves that it won't be so bad. But we didn't do that, and it extended the depression for up and worsened the world in its depression until eventually you had a vacuum of power available for Mussolini and Hitler and FDR and the New Dealers to sort of propose, if we just have total control, if you just give us total control, then the pain ends. We'll just solve your problems. So this is really something that at the present, are we not seeing that the everything is now, if you just give total control to the technocrats and to unelected bureaus, specialists and experts, people, now obviously the idea being people who are smarter than you, normal person, everything will be fine. The pain will end if you just give us total and complete control. And that every time anybody tries to fight this politically, they're punished. It's group punishment. And the press, just like during the lead up to World War II, is completely going along with it. So I think a lot of people that they want to fancy themselves as kind of they were the resistance, or they want sort of a revolution. They don't really get, once you revolt, like after we left England, things got bad economically. I mean, the Whiskey Rebellion is actually one of the best examples of how bad things got, where the people of Greater Appalachia started to trade in whiskey. And then to have total control, there was the taxing of whiskey, and that ends up with the Whiskey Rebellion. And this was a very normal person rebellion, and it was, no, you have to understand what's better for you. So to counter this loss of, if I remember correctly, no, let me just stop there. That's a good way of putting that. If you want a revolution, and you want the revolution to be organic, one of the things it's going to be is you're going to be alone. You eventually, those who rebel against the system, what it would be is it would be a global system. So at some point you're going to be alone. You will be isolated, and because the rest of the nation states will want to stick with, hover around their financial masters, like or planets around the sun. And so that's something I was just thinking about then. If you want a revolution, you're going to end up hungry for a while, but for a while, and then people will do what people will do, and they'll start making bread again. But for a while, it'll be hard. The bitterness will come. It'll be bitter at first. You'll have to eat bitters. And that's really the trouble, is that what we're seeing is not really this revolution in any way. What we're seeing is really a separation of society that we're having a lot of people say, if a bunch of you would just finally yield to power and go along with it, if you would just yield, just bow, if you would just bow, I'll give you the world. And everything will get better once you all just yield to the experts, yield to the large corporations, yield to CNN, yield to MSNBC. Now, of course, this won't happen. Americans just aren't like that. The people who move here are not like that. They came from usually situations where that was the mentality at a certain point. You just yield to the authority, then everything will finally get better. It's really you are the problem because you're not yielding. So I just wanted to put that out there because it was a thought that I was having as I was looking through some news stories and such, and reading, of course, the amazing 48 Laws of Power. Again, I want to thank Arceon. Yeah, this is, the pages are bent. They have lots of little stickers and lots of marginalia in it now. Lots of lines, whole paragraphs, all underlined. All right. So today I will make that kettlebell video. Don't worry. This time it's coming. I just had to wait till I had some good solid natural light. And it really is going to be about certain very, very basic things, because once you understand a certain different basic between what's called hard style and soft style, from there all the other maneuvers start to become, they make more sense. It makes more sense once you understand the difference between hard style work with a kettlebell and soft style. I myself kind of mix the two a little, but when you see the video, it'll make sense. I want to say that was Zaphod who asked me for that, but I don't think that's the correct person. All right, so make sure you post lots of your favorite stories of the day in the Discord, what you think is informative. Just do a quick, just share it to Discord. Because it's ever so important that we keep each other informed about everything going on. That's the key, staying informed. A network of information, that's the key. So, yeah, just watching life go by a little while reading. All right, take care.